Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Harebrained Games. We're doing something a little different today. Today, we're going to be doing a playthrough, a little bit of an example of SpaceCorp 2025 to 3031, the digital edition. I've never done anything like this before, so bear with me if this is a little crude and disingenuous. Normally, I just have my old school, stodgy way I do it, but we're going to go through this and talk a little bit. I've done a review of SpaceCorp in the past, even did a revisit of the review, and I've really enjoyed this game. The digital game's been out for about a week. It costs about $9. Without further ado, we'll get rolling. I'm going to go ahead and first thing I got to do is I got to set this app. This game has some wonderful things to start with, but one of the things it doesn't do is it doesn't, no matter what the settings are, it doesn't retain them, or it sets them a higher speed. I'm sure the developers will know. Help, credits. Ooh, I want credit stats. We're going to start with a new game. So for those of you who don't know or haven't played SpaceCorp, we're going to do the very first age. There's 3 ages. You can do the Mariner's Age, Explorer's Age, and then Starfarer's Age. The maps continually spread out from this myopic view of the solar system, or to Earth, and then out to the solar system, and then finally out into the nether reaches of space. We're just going to do the base game because that's all I bought. And then we're going to click next. That's my name. Don't wear it out. We're going to do we'll do 3 players just so that you can kind of get a feeling of what the board's like. Purple is always the best color on the planet. Always. And you're going to get 2 teams to start with. And again, we're going to start in the Mariners era. My video software only goes for 30 minutes. That's why if I do this, it's going to be in 3 parts, and this is just going to cover the first part. I would suggest the tutorial for people, but I'm not going to because we're just going to talk it through. The tutorial is, I would say for this, it's a little bit of it does an okay job of being pop-up driven. I think there's 2 ways tutorials can go. One can be, let me handhold you through this experience, but then people complain it's too long, or let me do pop-ups, in which case not everything might be captured. We're just going to roll with it. We're going to start a game. Pay attention to which players are close to completing contract objectives so you can stop them. Welcome to the space race. SpaceCorp has announced plans for giant ring-shaped space stations more than 50 times the size of the ISS. Yabba dabba dabba, techno babble, allied transit, blah 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 blah. So, what is your job in the Mariner's Age? Is to take the first steps toward deep space travel, explore asteroids and the moon and Mars. Basically, you're going to go to Mars. Looks like we're not first. Ooh. Wow, we go last? Okay. So for those of you who are interested, what is the general high-level point? Each one takes a turn. I left it at slow animations, and it's just for people that might want to get a beat on what's going on. When you start, you're going to get a certain subset of initial cards, some of them picked from this deck. Every era has its own deck, and that deck is placed here, and then all of these cards here are laid out for viewing and eventual purchase. Every player starts with a time card. You got to punch in. This is something that you can use if you need a little boost at a certain time to move, explore, or build. You can use this in addition to other cards to double the value of that action. That's going to be good if you ever have to traverse farther than you might allow. So let's go over the basics first. What are the things you can do? The general idea is everyone starts on Earth. You're going to go from Earth and you're going to travel around, and you're going to travel the space system. This is not a 4X, so you're not building out or trying to build huge bases and war machines and for that, do Space Empires 4. Wouldn't that be cool to have an app like this for? Instead, this is a race. It really is a race. And your idea is to build up points. It's all about the money in the end. They call them like trillion credits. But it's all about the money. Now, my opponents, Zara and Naveen, have already taken their turn, and they chose to do a couple things. I didn't see what they did. Don't matter. But the things you can do are move. And you move using move cards. You can use a combination of these big green movement cards. Right now we have these 3 cards in our hand, and this is our infrastructure. These are constantly available. You will always be able to use these if you need to, but you generally would want to fuel yourself with a few more cards. So if I moved, how does move work? Well, see these numbers here? it costs a certain amount to leave a base, and then or leave a planet or a Lagrange point or such, and then it costs a traversal across a destination costs that value, and then when you land, it usually costs one value. Gravity planets like Earth are an extra two. So for me to travel from here to, well, here, this gives you, hey, nice, thank you. Player 3 start base. Already has some things on it. Yay. Um, I want to move because moving makes a lot of sense. I could research. Research is just drawing cards. Moving is just moving. Exploring we'll get into once I get to a place to explore. You know what? Let's try for Luna. I'm not going to claim to be smart. I'm going to use this card for one move. This card for one move. And so now I have one, two, it says three move because I can use this always. Infrastructure is always usable. You don't need a card for it. So then I decide to move. I click the move button and I find out that I don't have enough movement to actually go where I want to go. Well, that's sad. So I don't want to, because again, it costs one, two, three to move out at Earth, and then it costs another one to land at Luna or these Lagrange points, and then over here it costs another to cross over five. Um, yes, yeah. So and if you can see from the reaches over here, right now it costs 10 to get all the way to the asteroid belt, which is the end. This is where you would want to be to get an advantage in the next era if you can get all the way to the asteroid belt. But you want to build up and exploit opportunities in this part of the solar system as well. So we're going to undo that. It has a single undo, and instead we're going to research. Research lets us draw cards. Now we can either choose some of these cards or take a risk and draw the empty deck or the non-empty deck. If this deck all gets completed and people buy up these cards, well, people are just going to keep playing until everybody passes at the same time, and then that's the end of the era, even if you don't necessarily make it all the way up to the top. So we're going to. I like the build. I like that. I could make this infra, but I already have one. Or I could take a risk. I'm going to take a risk. Ready? Well, I like it. The cargo pod. I'll take it. So I have that. What if I want to explore? Then I'm going to take this explore card. Okay. Well, now I'm done. I have done my turn, and we are set to go. Yep. So now we're going to do end turn. And again, the UI is decent. It is decent. There's a few things that trip me up, but it's decent. So my opponent has chosen to research. They too grab additional cards. You can't have more than, I think, 7 cards at the end of your turn. Oh, now it's my turn. They're kicking and going. Okay, so now I have opportunities. I could move. I could totally move. Although, see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that move too is nice. I mean, the thing about it is if I stick around and just grab more and more cards, other people are going to start taking over these areas because only one faction can control these areas. So, for example, if someone beats me to Luna, well, sadness. So I'm going to go ahead and do the move. 1, 2, that 3. No, 3. Ah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a little tricky. 3. So 4. I would literally have to use this and use up my explore, or I could use my time and double it. No, we're just going to do it. We're just going to use my entire hand, and we're going to move 5. No, we're not. We're going to take this one back. We're going to take that one back. And this is okay. What the heck? Oh boy. That's not what I wanted to do. Let's undo that. Thank you for letting me undo the whole thing. There are a couple things. There's some double clicking and things like that. It's not real clear. You probably check the rules. But again, it's not perfect, but it works okay. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's why. A card that can be used as infra can go down in here, and then, like I said, it can add to your constant permanent abilities. But we don't want that. We want 4. There we go. Now we're going to move here. Okay, now we're done. Okay. And now it's our opponent's turn. They're going to move. Oh, they're going to build. They're going to build on the Lagrange point. They're going to build some sort of a structure. We'll show you that as soon as I build. Okay. Oh, and then blue builds a spaceport. All right. All right. Now it's my turn. Now what happened there? Lagrange points are they're points that don't have planets, and so you can't explore or build bases on it, but you can build certain types of buildings on them. What they do, if, for example, as a spaceport, is that you can move your units there. Your opponents can also use that spaceport, but they have to let you draw a card if they do. So basically, you letting them use your stuff, which you don't really have a say in the matter, it gives you a benefit and advantage as well. So share and share alike. Um, but yeah, Lagrange points. Yep. There's no tiles. Planets have to be explored and then bases built. The Lagrange points are just there to connect, but they do help shuttle stuff. Because the spaceport was built here, you get a +2 to your movement when you begin there. So that's cool. We'll talk about team transport later. So okay, so I am going to explore. It only costs me 1. E1 means explore 1, and so I'm going to explore right here for 1. What is it going to be? Ooh, wait for it. All right, we have a water tile. I instantly get 1 trillion credits. That's great. And I get a discount, or someone gets a discount um, that builds on this planet because we've explored it. These are exploration tokens. But once we build, well, we're going to get a discount. It is possible for one of these to swoop in and build. Generally speaking, it hasn't really happened too much for me yet, but if someone lands here and they build before I do, then they're going to get the benefit. But I still get a card, I believe. So, but we are done. So now we're going to see what my opponents do. All right, going to do move. Yep. So yellow is moving out to the next Lagrange point. And again, there's benefits there too. Notice the score. I have 1 trillion and they don't have anything yet. But yeah, they're spreading out. And notice they're using their 2 teams. It is possible to use both of you have 2 teams right now. There's ways to get third ones in the later eras, but I'm not going to worry about that now. But yeah, so okay, so my turn. Now I could research if I saw something really cool and just not worry about no one's going to build a base here, so I'm pretty safe. So I think I'm going to do that. But that's wise? I don't know. We'll find out. Move 3. I like it. And then, explore and build 2. Yeah. This one doesn't. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do that. All right. So that's pretty simple enough. So you can see how quickly the actions keep pouncing away. Build. What are they going to build? Another research. Interesting. What is our good friend? Oh, they're going to double their build, or they're going to build twice. All right. So, ooh. Oh, so no one can move until the next turn. Certain cards do have special abilities. They're called edge cards, or special action cards. And while the standard thing is move, explore, research, build, and produce. Producing means if you have a base that produces something like money, you can use this to trigger it. Probably the less likely used action most of the time at the start of the game. But yeah, okay, so now what are we going to do? We're going to build a base. Now, the base cost was 2, but because we found water, the base cost is only 1. So instead of having to use this, I can actually I don't have to use my 2. I can just use this 1. All right. And I'm going to build right here. Now, what I get to build is interesting. At the start, you'll notice that the certain things are X'd out. Um, because these buildings have certain. This is one thing about this menu here that I wish is that there's no reason why they couldn't make this a little bit larger and just have the prerequisites listed so you know without having to click on each one. You can't even cycle through them. You just have to click, click, exit. So for new players trying to go find out why I can't build and then try and remember. Now, this is a water tile. And so yes, so these can be built, these can't be built. Notice the crescent, that's for the Mariner's Age. That's the age we're in now. These can't be built because they're in the next age, the Explorer's Age. And so, what can we build? Well, we can build industry or research. We can't build a spaceport because that requires to be Lagrange. I mean, oh wait, so there is a little bit here. There's a little bit of information once you figure it out. I just wish it was kind of like more obvious. Like if this information was here instead. But anyway, but yeah, so this requires a wonder, this requires microbes, and this is okay, this requires water. This is P. Now, P is production. So, and I don't mean P, you know what I mean. So basically, when you use a refinery, whatever production value is on the exploring tile, you would get it increased by one. This doesn't have any, this doesn't have a production value, and so there wouldn't be any value in that because there's no production on it. This is, and so what we're left with is the industry, because this has water. So whenever I build in the same region, I can get double the build action. So that's nice, and that's just when performing a future action. Yeah, or research, which just lets me take a card from the card offers. But you know what? I got time. I'm going to build this, and that means, I mean, it's not that valuable because everything's already been built, but I'm just showing you how this works. So there we go. We have built our first location. All right. Ooh, they're going to move now that they can. Oh, oh, they're using the special ability to just place a discovery tile. So they didn't, they couldn't move. Okay. So now it's time for, ooh, they're going back to build yet another Lagrange point. All right, so now we have some options. We still have our unit here, and we have to go up a little higher. I feel like we still got 16 cards left in the deck. We've got moving. What if we, yeah, they've kind of taken over a lot of the stuff, so what if we moved, what if we moved, um, would be nice. Like you can remember, I guess it's just like 1, 2, 3 would move us here. Um, Certainly would be nice if it just kind of always had a permanent show where you could get the stuff from it. So, but again, like you have two units, and so like you can move here to there, you can move here to that. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I wouldn't be able to move. Ooh, I could move out here for 4, and that's kind of cool. You know what? We're gonna do that. Let's move out to Sisyphus. Let's go out and see what's going on. All right, end our turn. Not exactly kicking butt with the cards, but yes. Gonna move? Nope, gonna build. And there. Oh, and okay, fulfilled the contract. So here's another thing. Not only because this is about corporations, it's not just necessarily a race to like lay down your turf and get here. You've also got bonuses here, contracts that as you fulfill are going to give you money. And again, money is victory points. So right now, I haven't done a produce action. I'm not ready for it. First play. Some of these are cards in 3 infrastructure, bases in 4 regions. I'm not really anywhere near quite yet getting any of these done. But these are the first contracts. In the next year, there's going to be the next contracts. And then after that, there's going to be the next contract. So anyway, I'm going to speed things up a little bit because we're running out of time. But if I build here, I'm going to explore right here. There's only one place to explore. What am I going to get? What am I going to get? Production, please. Yes. Exotic elements. This is good. This is good. Because if I build a base here, Okay, if I build a base here, I can produce here, and I'm going to fulfill a contract. Explore. All right. Now, ooh, they're going to move. Hmm. Ooh, team turns. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, really kicking butt with this. All right. So here we have building options. So we learned here. So for me to build, it's going to cost 4. So this is probably a time. I have a time card. I'm going to do this because I do want to build this. I want to use my time card to double it. Let me undo this. Okay, let's start here. Oh, let's see. Move, explore. Oh, 2 actions. Oh, 2 actions. Yeah, so I can either do 2 actions. This is what I missed. Okay, I missed this a lot. Like it's because these options here blend in with the map so much. I didn't really pick up on this whole thing for a while. So I'm going to do build two. I'm going to do build two. There we go. Now I'm going to build, and this is the only place I can build. Nice. So what can I build? Well, I have I have refinery. Just because this has a p-value, I can actually build a refinery on it and increase it by 1, which means now it's worth 2 to me whenever I produce. So, all right, and we're going to end our turn here. Notice I really haven't done much with my other spacecraft yet. The games are different. It's definitely there's a lot of ways to branch out and a lot of focus points that you can use to try to earn money. There's no one specific way. Now, why did this show up? Well, because I have an edge card here, and because it doesn't know exactly when to use it, it's going to be prompting me these up a lot. So I can either say, I don't want to use this no matter what for either of my opponents, or I can say, I don't want to use this now. That's where the once in the round means. It should be like once just means skip this person, but maybe the next player's turn I'll want to use it. Round means skip this until it gets back to me. It's not a thing. But at the end of an opponent's turn, take all cards they discarded into your hand. Well, I don't see any discards, so I'm going to skip it this once. I'm going to let my opponent. Hmm. Do I want that? Oh. Ooh. That's interesting. Abundant ores doesn't have a production value, but if they build a base, it costs 2 less. So now I have to decide. I could use this edge card, and I could take this card, but do I really want it? No, I'd rather skip it until it gets back to me. All right. Now we have an issue. So we built the space. Okay. Now I'm going to do a produce action. Why? Because I know that there's a contract that says first produce action. It's going to give me 2 trillion credits. So I'm going to produce one. I'm going to produce this here. It's going to give me 2 because I got that extra refinery. Look. Yes, I earned 2. So see, now I've got 6 trillion. They've got 3 trillion and 1 trillion. So I'm pretty happy with that particular move. But I do notice that we're running low on cards here and I need to stock up. My opponent here has, wow, 8 cards. Oof. Ooh. Ooh. You know what? This is a perfect opportunity. Oh man, he's moving. Oh, got to Mars. Got to Mars first. I want to use this. Ooh. I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this edge. So I'm going to get all of these cards into my hands. Like, that's pretty cool. That's a good fortuitous um, opportunity thing to do. Okay. Now, okay. Gonna move to. Where are you gonna move? Oh. Oh, okay. Interesting. How did that? I'll have to think back on that. If that was a team move or no. So I have another edge card to take 2 turns in a row. Do I want to take 2 turns in a row? Play at the beginning of your turn. Do I want to take 2 turns in a row? Yes, I do. What do I? That move 3 No, I'm not, because that's the other thing is you got to make a trade-off. I could use this edge card, but look, this is a move 3, which is going to be advantageous to me, so I'm going to skip this one. And now it's my turn. Now I have to decide what to do. And so, like, I've sort of explored, I've done some things, filled some contracts. You know what? It's time to move. We're going to move and move and move here. All right, we've got move 7 so far. And so we could, so this one, so hit spacebar, I learned, switches I had a beast of a time. I was clicking the wrong things and going the wrong direction, whatever, but spacebar switches between your ships and will change the costs. This is yeah, so right now I'm at 7, but I could add 9. Yep. Now I can get to now I can start contending here on these bases. You know what? I'm going to go to Phobos. That's going to be my special fun. All right, and that's it for me. I'm definitely going to have to do some research because I don't want to run out of cards as we get close to the end of this particular era here. All right. And research. Research is for later. There's a certain research track, not much good in the first era, but you can get yourself a head start to other eras in being able to get special abilities. Research and genetics basically give you special cards, abilities that boost you. All right, so I'm going to explore. I'm going to explore here. I'm going to explore this. Look, natural. Oh, I just get credits. Rock on, people. All right. Oh, see, now we're out of cards. So these are the last 4 cards. People are going to use them up, and we're going to figure out what to do. Ooh, produce. Dang it. So, catching up. What are they going to build? Oh, a research center. So another contract fulfilled. But you'll notice it's all about the money. So right now, we're not that different as money goes. No one's super ahead. I'm ahead by 2, but... All right, so now we're going to go... Ooh, I'm fine with this. We're going to research and just grab the last 2 cards, which it automatically should just do because... okay, so the end of the era is triggered. So that means... Oh, yeah, so... Okay. Yep. So from here on out, we're going to do... Oh, another contract. So they're all doing contracts. I'm still ahead. All right. Come on. Ooh. All right. So I am going to, I don't have much. If I do this and this, that would give me 6, 7. Okay, I'm going to do this. I should be able to pay. I can't, I should be able to pay a credit. But anyway, all right, well, we're going to undo that. And instead, we're going to research. Oh, wait, or genetics 2. Oh, okay, I guess I didn't realize that was there. That's cool. All right, and we're done. All right. All right. Oh, man. Team transit. All right. I'm going to go ahead and pass. I don't have anything else to do, so there's the pass. Almost at time. You know what? I'm going to have to break this up and do a video, so hang on for 5 seconds, and then we will get back to a different. Okay, well, my 30 minutes expired, so I have to do a second video here. But anyway, so we're back where we are, and this time we are going to just intern. Is there anything else I could do? I'd really like to get here, but there's no way I could do it because 2, move 3 is 6, so I'm here. So 1, 2, 3. Maybe I could. Let's give it a shot. So we're going to play this card, and we're going to play this to move 2. And this, there's no value in moving and research because we have nothing to research. We can't build. Well, maybe we could build. But if we did build, no, I'm gonna move 7. Why is it 7? Okay, so I don't like that it does that. It kind of moves it around. So I could move 6. Wait, 1. What the heck? Okay. So if I want to move this, why is it? Oh, this is where I'm getting confused. Maybe a developer could help, but I'm trying to move my ship. Okay, so say we're at this one. I need to build a base. I could build a base, but I don't really want to. So if I do this, that gives me a move of 6. And here, so I would move out for 1, 2, 3, 4. Why is it? Maybe some viewer can help me. Why is it 7? Oh, because I didn't build a base, so I can't. Yeah, that's the rule. So I forgot that when it comes to movement, you can move to say a Lagrange point. You can move to a base when you either you need to start on a base or you need to end on a base. Right now, I don't have a base here, so I can't start on a base. I'd move here would be end on a base, which means that I would have to move from this particular location here, which has a base, and that's why. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's why. Had I built a base here, it would be a hop, skip, and a jump. But you know what? I still think it's worth it. So we're going to do this. We're going to move. And then to move here, well, I thought I could. How come I can't spend? Maybe it's the next age when I can start spending credits. There's a certain way that if you don't have enough credits, you can spend more, but that's not going to work. So you know what? We are just going to undo that, and maybe we can build. Let's see if we can. Nope, we can only build 5 or build 4, which isn't going to give us enough to build. So we really did not. This is another thing. The planning is just not super cool on this one. So undo that. So we really don't have much to do. So I guess we just pass, and that's the end of the age. It would have been really nice to have had that 1 extra to get to first beyond, because if I'm in the first beyond or second beyond, then when we start the next Planeteers era, I would get to start on a farther up location, which we'll see when I start doing the second age. But anyway, we're going to intern, and then everyone else is going to intern. And this is the end, and here we are. So we have, look at that. So Zara has 3 points. I have an 8 points for Levine. Avril. What's the average? So from contracts earned 5, discoveries earned 2, and other points 1. I had discoveries 4. I had 2 production, and that was helpful. And I had 4 from contracts for 10. So we are done. And now we're going to go to the next era. What happens is from this era, so in the real life game, you're going to take the board and you're going to switch to an entirely different board, flip this one around, and you're going to have a larger scope, which we'll see once we get into the second chapter of this Acts of the Astronomers. I can choose to take one of these with a production value to the next era, and it permanently becomes there for me to use. It stays on my tableau, my little sheet, so it's, put a planet out there for me like from scratch. But I would be able to use that as a resource. So if I did a production action in the next realm, I will be able to use this and make some money. So we're going to take that into our next era. I didn't get the first beyond, so I don't get to take advantage of these, and so on we go to the next era. 2070 to 2149. Humanity conquers the outer solar system. All right. So now you can see we are all here. Oh, Zara. Why am I last? I guess it's already starting. So we're going to do some serious movement. The first thing I'm going to do is move. Oh, yeah. Now they can use extra terraform, extra correct. Whoa. Starting off with Titan? Okay. Well, okay then. What's Levine going to do? Move 5. They're getting serious about their moving. Notice that the move values are much higher here. All right, so now it's my turn. This is where we're going to call it quits. I will pick it up again in a second video to I'll give you a little taste of preview of the map, but you'll notice that the inner solar system, it goes out to Vesta and Hygiene, kidding, and then out. And you're going to go out farther and farther. What's interesting is that these values, as far as travel distance, have an extra like a tariff of sorts, a movement tariff, we'll say, where if we were going to travel from Saturn to Uranus, you couldn't just pop over with 4, you also have to add extra. So Saturn can get to certain places faster, but if it has to cross over to... This is basically a description of the way that the planets, they don't sit there and stay next to each other, they do rotate around the sun. And so this is going to happen. Then we're going to go all the way to Pluto and then to beyond again. But that is for next time. So thanks again. Take care, and we'll see you next time on Harebrained Games.